Hey guys, welcome back to the Business Lounge. Today's video is about saving money. Now, saving money is hard on most people and you don't have to be a genius to figure out why. It's because we humans love spending every penny we earn. So today, I'm gonna give you 5 tips to help you save more money every month. So let's get right to it. But first, I wanna tell you guys a quick story about 3 friends. Here's Bill, John, and Eddie. Now just bear with me and I want you to focus a bit here because there's some math involved. So, Bill's 25 and loves spending his money. He's like most people and thinks he doesn't need to save because he has a stable job paying him $36,000 after taxes. That covers all of his expenses, his mortgage, his car, and even his new phone that he just bought. As time goes by, Bill gets married and has a kid. Now, instead of only covering his expenses, he has to cover his kids and probably his wife's expenses as well. The problem is, his salary's only increased by 15% in the last 5 years. So, he has to cut down on his own spending so he can cover all the necessary things. As more time passes, his salary keeps increasing, but not as much as his expenses. So after so many years, Bill decides to retire, only to find that he hasn't saved any money, so he's left with no other choice but to keep working. Next is John. John decides he doesn't want to end up like Bill when he reaches his 60s, so he decides to save 10% of his income, hoping that by the time he's 65, he can stop working and begin enjoying his life. After about 40 years, assuming that his income is increasing by an average of 3% each year, he manages to save $264,386. Now obviously that's not enough money to travel the world and cover his expenses for the next 20 years, but at least he was smart enough to put himself in a way better position than Bill. Finally, there's Eddie. He's also 25 and makes a similar income. He realizes though that saving 10% of his income isn't going to make him financially free anytime soon, and that he's probably going to have to wait till he's 65 to see any significant difference. So he goes with a different approach. Instead of saving 10% of his income, he decides to save 25%. And instead of just saving it, he invested into an investment fund. Assuming that he keeps on investing roughly $9,000, although like his other 2 friends, his income is increasing by an average of 3% a year, which means in reality, it should be more as time goes by. But in just under 10 years, his savings grow to more than $150,000. Now he can withdraw that money and start his own business and maybe retire early. Or he can keep it in an investment fund and get this. Without saving a single penny for the rest of his life, that initial savings of $150,000 will grow to roughly $4.2 million by the time he retires. So, compared to Bill and John, Eddie will have either retired early or have one heck of a retirement party. Now, what was the moral of the story or what set Eddie apart from the other 2? He knew that if he was able to sacrifice 10 years of his life now, he would be able to live the rest of his life however he wants. So, the first tip for you is that you should know why you want to save in the first place. A lot of people give up and stop saving because they don't see exactly why they're saving. Your goal shouldn't be to save for a huge, amazing wedding or a brand new car, because once you get that car or have that wedding, you're gonna go right back to your old ways and be faced with a whole other set of financial challenges. So the ultimate goal should be to achieve financial freedom. Tip number 2 is pay yourself first. Before even spending a single penny of your income, you need to put aside a percentage of it into your savings account. If you don't have a savings account, you need to do that as soon as possible. Guys, you're not allowed to spend this money under any circumstances. No matter what you're going through, this money should not be touched unless you're gonna invest it. Consider it to be a part of your taxes, something you have to pay whether you want to or not, okay? Next, you need to know your expenses. It's probably gonna be hard for you to start saving in the first couple of months, especially if you haven't really done it before and you realize your savings aren't growing as fast as you'd like them to. So, instead, you need to know your expenses first. Spend the next 30 days writing down every transaction that you make, so that by the end of the month, you'll have a detailed understanding of how you're exactly spending your money. Then, you can deduct your expenses in those areas that don't have a big effect on your life. Like for example, instead of buying a coffee every morning, you can make that coffee yourself and probably save anywhere between $50 to $70 each month. Instead of driving, use public transportation to get around and go to your job if it's more affordable and still convenient enough. You might save another $50 to $70 there. And just like that, you'd be saving yourself close to $100 every month. Not bad, right? Tip number 4 is to procrastinate. Now we all know procrastination is bad, but not in this case. We usually get excited when we want to buy something new right away, even if it's something that we don't really need. Over time though, that excitement goes away. It's like when you buy a new phone. The first couple of days you might be excited about it, but then you know what happens. It just becomes normal after that. So you should get into the habit of waiting to buy things, especially the more expensive ones. You'll still end up buying all the important things you need anyways, but there'll be plenty of times when you change your mind and you get to hold on to that cash. And that brings us to our last tip here. Use cash. Whenever you want to buy something, try to always use cash instead of a debit card. Whether you're out ordering food in a restaurant or buying groceries, handing over a $20 bill is a lot harder than swiping a card. And that's because when you swipe that card, it feels like you're spending a lot less. Over time, you'll become a more conscious spender and you'll start buying more of what you need and less of what you want. So, those are 5 tips that should help you save more money, and I suggest that you start doing them if you want to start building yourself up financially. And if you are doing them, congratulations, you know you're already on your way to achieving great things. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with as many people as you can. One last thing before I end this video, I love how this channel is starting to gain some traction and our subscriber count is constantly moving up. I appreciate all the support, guys, and I need you to help keeping us get up to our first milestone of 1,000 subscribers. So please, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it yet, and turn on your notifications so you can be one of the first people to know when I have a new video out. All right, folks, until the next one, you take care. Bye-bye.